Well, here we are at the York Railway Museum. We're here for a very special day. Very noisy in here, there's lots and lots of people. And we've come here to see the 6 A4 Pacifics which still remain and been preserved. 4 of which remain in this country, and 2 of them, one in Canada, one in the USA, they're here as well. That's Dominion of Canada. Of course, after this exhibition, when it closes, they'll be going back. Something to do with the celebration of 70 years since Mallard achieved its record-breaking speed. This will perhaps be the last time these will ever be together. Mallard, of course. They all look pretty much the same. Some of them's blue, some of them's green. People from all over the country come down here to see these. Queuing right round the building. Like the Eisenhower. I remember seeing that as a young lad. St Nigel Grizzly still on the go even now in this country. On special days. Last time I saw it was at the North York Moors Railway. So there they are, all lined up. The only one I've never seen before out of these was Bitten. I've seen that before until today. Wonderful sight. Everybody milling around looking at the engines and wanting photographs, getting in each other's way. But it was worth the trip. We're on a coach trip from Lincolnshire. There are some passengers from other places as well. We got here about 10:30 in the morning and stayed till about 3 in the afternoon. It was very, very busy all day. When we'd seen the A4s, we went around the museum looking at other things. That bridge was made out of wood, and it was, I wonder it never collapsed with the weight of people that was on it, trying to get an overhead shot. There's some very really early locomotives and carriages. Yes, there's 1 or 2 nice locomotives in there. Whether they ever use them again, I don't know. This is Eurostar. This is Bullet. I think it's either Japanese or Chinese. And it's a really fast train, that is. That's probably one of the early models. Some of the areas weren't very well lit. I don't know whether that still runs on the lines or not, to be honest. Evening Star. This is inside the Bullet train. Inside they were showing you bits of video of it so you could see what sort of a performer it was. And of course the model railway was of great interest to the children and the adults as well. There's that silver fox dashing through. The job getting your camera in there to get some pictures at all. Too many people trying to do the same. Getting in each other's way. Lovely engines them, lovely. Onto the older ones. In good condition. This is the main hall. Lighting was a bit dull in here as well. Some old posters on the wall. Ticket machines. Lovely old coaches. People could sit there and have a lunch or something. That's a dining car, that one. It was really nice. This is a Pullman coach, which was supposed to be a sort of a prestige coach in their day. This is the old mail wagon. The nets used to catch the mail as they went flying past the stations. Catch a bag of mail. We're inside the Pullman now. Now having a look in the mail van. They were showing a video as well. Look at that, from our hometown, Grimsby and Cleethorpes. The old fish boxes. They don't have them now, they have plastic ones or polystyrene. With a couple of engines here to have a quick look at. Well, that's where you keep the coal. And that's where you shovel it in. Yes. One of the old station clocks and some other nostalgic notices on the wall. This is some of the transport vehicles that used to run around railway stations, taking the luggage and goods from one place to another. I used to like them, three-wheelers them, one at the front, and I think they were called Hqaworth, made by Hqaworth. This one's a little bit out of focus. Some of them was probably electric ones anyway. Old diesel engine from the early type. Back in the main hall, I left my wife somewhere while I went doing all that, and I've got to go and find her now. There she is. I'm back. We're outside looking at the old rocket. It's a replica of Stephenson's rocket. They use that for taking people for rides. I don't know why it isn't running They could have made a bit of money on that today. Some more old coaches. Look at that, from our hometown. We're in the museum in York. And we found another model railway. Fascinating, aren't they? So lifelike. Semaphores, that's the old signalling system, which we still have at all of the stations round here. And then there's loads of memorabilia here to do with railways and anything else really. Loads of stuff in this room. Spend a day looking in here. There's a famous engine, Green Arrow. Used to be very popular on the south coast, I believe. There's Flying Scotsman. Let's have a look in the old buffet car. You couldn't actually get in it, but you can look through the windows. Silver service, no less. Yes, I remember these. It's all set for dinner, look. There's the bar. Yes, remember them. Back in the artifacts area, there's plenty more to see. There's things in there that you wouldn't expect to see on the railway museum. This is a model of a royal train with the top open so you can see what it looked like inside. Really nice model carriage, that. Whoever built that. This is a demonstration of the signals. Young boys having a lesson on signalling.
You won't hear anything because it's run down in the signal box. It's a long way that way. So you can't hear anything. So you just reach across, pull that handle like that, and a big heave. That's it. And now.
Yes, I bet you enjoyed that. We're outside again, looking across the railway line. There's York Station. And there's one of them big wheels, like the London Eye, that seem to crop up at nearly every city that you visit. It's into all of them now. I don't know whether that's York Minster or part of York Minster, but just in the distance, and didn't see any trains at all coming out of the station, which surprised me because it's a Saturday and I thought it'd be very busy. Still very busy inside, letting people in and out. They seem to let, if 6 people went out, they let 6 more in. It was that bad. They didn't let them all in all at the same time. There was hundreds of people in there. Very interesting. We spent the last hour in this area, which was in the open air. It was very hot inside, but it was still hot outside. But we was doing the best to keep cool with a cold drink from that container cafe, made from old containers. And we sat there and had a cold drink and something to eat for the last hour. We're looking underneath the coach now. So I hope you enjoyed looking around the museum in York. We finish our visit with a shot of the undercarriage of that coach there. We'll have the big springs and dampers. But don't go away, because from here we're off to Hqaworth. So here we are in Hqaworth. This is the next day, and the pictures are taken with a different camera. So the way they came out in the process was a bit smaller than the ones you just seen in the museum. But anyway, we've been here at least 3 times now, and we're just taking a few pictures in the area. That's a long trip down that hill. It's very steep, so like going down, it's coming back's the problem. And most people who go there on these coach trips are elderly people and pensioners, and it's not all that good. Not bad on that horse, but there you are, not on a car. This is the church where the bodies of the Bronte sisters are there. One inside and another one outside in the cemetery. Those 2 people there are with us, and they're making it down the hill to the Hqaworth Valley Railway. I did that last time I was here, and it was nearly a killer coming back up that hill. Some lovely pubs and shops and restaurants. So there's plenty to see if you don't want to walk all the way down that hill. There's a service on in the church at the moment, so couldn't go in there. So I had a look round the outer area. A couple of notices pointing in the direction of whatever. Can't read them. There's a plaque to more or less show you where the Bronte sisters' graves are. I never found it this time, but I have seen it before. You can't read much on the stones because they're that worn out. But it's worth a visit. Very quiet, isn't it? There's a long shot from looking through the buildings into the distance. That's more or less all I did in Hqaworth. There was a lot of people about, but you can't see any in our picture. I think our friends who went down to the railway are on the way back. Yes, there they are, look. Staggering up the hill, and when they got to us, we all went for a lunch at one of the pubs close by. So that has been a short look around Hqaworth.